What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is a special show. I'm going to tell you right now. This is a special show. So if you don't know us, this is the threesome show with Bridget and Don. But this is a very special show. We have hit 1,000 subscribers. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long road. Um, but because it's a special show, we're going to do some things on this show that we haven't done in the past. We're going to give away some prizes. In order to get the prizes, though, you have to, and I'm going to say this throughout the show for those who are not tuning in initially. You got to be on the show today. So when I announce who you are, you got to let us know by either reaching out to us by DM or just letting us know you on the show so we can get the prize to you. But Bridge, we hit 1,000 subscribers. Like what I tell you, this has been a long time. And I gotta thank you because apparently everybody watches for you. They didn't watch for me. So um, we started this. We started this journey in 2022. Bridget started the journey with me in 2024, and this year has been a light up year. So I thank you for just rocking with me and doing this show with me
No problem.
and taking over the show because apparently, like, you're the one everybody want to see.
No, they want to see you too.
Nah, they look at my ugly ass and they go, nah, bring on Bridget. Um, so tonight we're gonna talk about a couple of things. We're gonna talk about dating in 2024. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate you. We're gonna talk about dating in 2024, but we're gonna also talk about what did you tell me?
Resentment?
Resentment. Yes, thank you. I don't know why toxic relationships is on my mind, but that was a couple of shows ago. Resentment. So we'll get more into resentment because there's a couple of things you can resent: friendships, relationships. There's people that are in your aura that you want to get rid of. We'll talk about that. But let's talk about dating. Um, now, I'm kind of off the dating scene. However, 2022 was my dating year, and I've utilized a couple of the the different ways. As a matter of fact, I've utilized all three of the dating types or the ways of dating somebody. Only one of them was successful with me, but I want to know, how do you date, Bridget?
How do I date?
Yes, how do you meet people? Like if you, how do you, how does somebody get to know Bridget?
Hmm, that's a good question. um, I would say like, I mean, in the past when I used to go out a lot, I might met somebody at a bar. Um, when I used to go to the club, I didn't really like ever go on a date with anybody from clubs. Definitely social media. I feel like maybe like me and somebody been friends and maybe they asked me, but I mean honestly, I it sounds crazy me being 33 years old. I haven't dated a lot of people in my life. So,
Question for you on that,
mhm,
because women have a different meaning or different definition of dating than men do, right?
mhm,
So for a man, if I'm seeing a woman and we having sex, they call that dating. Nowadays, that's dating for men. But for women, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, if a guy doesn't take you on a date, you're
mhm.
not dating.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
I would consider like if a man and woman is having sex, I would consider that fucking.
Mm,
Unless he's taking you on dates. Uh, to me, dating is someone that. y'all are going on dates and not necessarily having sex.
Mm.
I've had dates like I've had where like maybe we meet up at like a sports bar. Or like I had a date one time where we met up at a sports bar, had some drinks, then went to the movies. I had, dates in the past where it's like we just went out to eat. And none of those people I actually never had sex with. You know what I'm saying? Never even kissed them, to be honest. It was literally just going on dates, very respectful, no fucking, that's not to say like someone you're having sex with, you're not dating, you're not going on dates with them. But if that person ain't never taking you out, you're technically not dating them. You just fucking them, you just having sex with them. So yeah, I would consider a date like where a man plans a date. Not saying a woman can't plan a date. Because if that's something like y'all going back and forth, like I plan this date, you plan that date, okay. But it's basically whoever's initiating going somewhere, they're planning it out. Y'all are either meeting up, or that person is picking you up, taking you to that place. You're not necessarily having sex. You're either doing something fun, getting to know each other, or just spending quality time together.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the one thing I grabbed from what you were saying is so the guys that took you on dates you
Mm-hmm.
never had sex with.
Never. Never kissed them. They never attempted. None of that.
So let's hone in on that. So they never attempted.
They never attempted. Even when our date was done, might have gave each other a hug, but they didn't even like reaching for a kiss, which I feel like is respectful because I don't feel like, I feel like people are too quick to have sex with people. I feel like people are too quick to put their mouths on other people. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't attempt to, but it's not like I would have wanted them to. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if you go on a date, this is someone that probably is not too familiar. And you wouldn't want to like just jump out there with someone that's not that familiar.
So I think that for one, kissing is rather personal.
Yeah. Somebody said, how about the guys who
My
got you
audio was
roses
sounding
and
kind of
vegan meals?
crazy. Thank you. So I think so. One, kissing is rather personal.
Mm-hmm.
Kissing is very personal. As a matter of fact, kissing is the only other personal thing besides having sex. If you kiss
Don,
somebody, like,
your video is like lagging a little bit.
is it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What the hell?
Tobias, what you mean? What's the answer? The guys that got me roses and took me and vegan meals. I've had people take me to get vegan dates, and we were it was just a date.
So I'm gonna go a little deep into the whole kissing thing, but for one, welcome every damn body. Tobias, Biz Media, Theo Bossed Up. You remember him? Theo, what's good,
Mm-hmm.
son? Ange, you on board? We giving away some prizes today. We're gonna talk about that in a second. So stay, everybody that's here right now, stay, because I'm gonna select one of y'all, two of y'all, as a matter of fact, to win some prizes. So stay on board. Don't leave. Um, so yeah, so the fact that the guys that took you out on dates, and yes, I'm putting you on the hot seat right now, especially with all these guys on here. Um, so the guys that took you on dates that never tried, never had sex with you, like, is that what um, kissing is actually more intimate than sex? Yeah, you're right. Because you're right. Mm, he just took me straight off of what the hell I was talking about. Kissing is more intimate than sex. Because I could fuck somebody and not kiss them and be cool with that shit. But if I kiss you, it's like, wait a minute. That's an instant connection.
Yeah.
Um, so the guys that were respectful for you, right? And yes, I'm putting you on a hot seat, and I don't even mean to, but it is what it is.
Go ahead.
So the guys that were more respectful for you, you didn't choose to carry on something long distance for them.
Um, it's hard to explain honestly because like some of them was just like some was just like a date maybe one time. Like I remember this one guy. He was always cool. Still today, he's cool. He might be in a relationship now. I don't know. It was kind of like just mutual. Like we went out to get drinks. We went to watch a movie, and then that was it. It wasn't like I don't know. Like we neither one of us really like hit each other up. I feel like not saying like we didn't want to pursue nothing, but I don't know. It was just I feel like maybe we just wanted to enjoy each other's company. I don't know. Like, we just went on a date. The movie was cool. We left it as that, where like another guy, like we continuously went on dates. I don't know. I feel like he likes to eat. So he always wanna like, let's go out to eat, let's go out to eat. Um where like that one it was kind of confusing to me because I'm like, are we just friends? I feel like he liked to spend time with me. But he never tried to pursue. But at the same time, I'm kind of like old school as a woman. Like, I'm kind of old school, so I'm not about to make a move on a man. Um, so like if I'm dating someone, I'm not about to reach in for a kiss. I'm not making the first move. But like yeah, one of the guys I actually dated him for a while, but we never kissed, we never had sex. I never initiated anything, but I kind of wondered. I kind of did get frustrated. Like he dated him, like so. I mean, I never asked him, but I was just like confused. Like, are we just dating or are we just friends? I don't know. Honestly, looking back, I really don't care. Um, do I appreciate someone that just wanted to take me out and not want nothing sexual? Absolutely. And shout out to all of them. Y'all the real ones. Can't be mad at it.
So the three types of or the three best places to meet someone, best ways to meet someone, according to Google, because Google tells me every damn thing. According to Google, is dating apps, which I don't agree with, social media, which I also don't agree with, and meeting through a friend. So during my short single time, um, I did the dating apps, and just like what you were saying, it's crazy. Even as a man, if a woman invites me to her house for the first date, it's going nowhere. Like I'm literally fucking. I'm not going to her house and strip club on vacation and a referral. So I'll give you a situation. Met this young lady through one of the different swipe left, swipe right fucking apps. I go to her house. She literally meets me at the door. She cooked for me, but she met me at the door and she was in a nightgown, not a negligee, but a nightgown. And the first thing she says to me when I get in there is, we're not fucking. Don't think that we're fucking. And I'm looking at her going, you met me at the door in a nightgown. We're fucking. Like that's kind of where the night's going at this point. Needless to say, that relationship or that situationship went nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Social media, I feel like every guy that reaches out to a woman on social media, the women think that a guy is just thirsty. Like you just thirsty and chasing.
I don't
When
know.
you meet you don't. So, I'm gonna have to put you back on the high seat. So if a guy reaches out to you, jumps in your DM, and is like, I want to take you out or whatever, how do you look at that guy?
I don't look at him as thirsty. I just feel like the attraction has to be mutual. I'm not gonna say that I haven't met somebody on social media and they're like, "Oh, let's go on a date or something," and I didn't go. Like, yeah, I have. I might have had to talk to them for a little bit. Like, it might start like getting their number. You know, we case searching them to see if they're a psychopath or something, and then maybe I feel good enough to like go on a date with them. But I mean, honestly, I never been against like meeting somebody on social media. Now dating apps, no, I guess it's considered the same thing, but I feel like it's mutual. If it's somebody that I'm not attracted to, then yeah, I'm gonna be like, why the fuck is he in my DM? You know.
Mm.
But it's very rare that I've went on dates with guys on social media or in my DM because men just don't be attractive like that.
Men don't be.
Men don't like. I don't know. Like it's just like some men. I don't know. I feel like nowadays, like men are just not. I'm not saying there are no attractive men because there are, but men. It is not a lot of attractive men out here. Number one, and I feel like yes, attraction is important. Attraction is important. It's not everything because I feel like it's people's personality. But you have to be attracted to someone to even want to, deal with them. But I feel like a lot of men are not attractive nowadays. Um, and then the ones that are very attractive, they either already got a woman, they're gay, or they probably fucking have bad hygiene and they stink. I don't know, but I don't know. Men
God
just don't.
dang.
I'm not trying to be
Damn.
ignorant. I'm just keeping it 100. I just be like, I don't know if you never heard of the phrase like, damn, niggas don't come cute no more, because that's how I be feeling. Like every time I get a friend request, whether it's Facebook, it's just be an ugly motherfucker. And no, looks is not everything, but damn.
So wait,
Do I sound
these
harsh?
dudes are literally coming at women, right? And they don't smell good, they don't look good. Like,
No. Like, let me keep it 100, and I'm not throwing shade towards everyone. But I'm a hairstylist, so I do a lot of men's hair. Okay, no, not every single man that comes in my salon. Okay, but when I say about 80% of the men, mind you, a lot of my clientele are men. Like when I first started doing hair, I had more men than I did have women. Okay, and I'm gonna say about even to this day, maybe 80% of the men that come into my salon, they fucking stink. They have body odor. They have bad
get the hell
hygiene.
out of here.
It's either that or you could tell they don't brush their teeth or some shit. Like to the point where more recently I'm just like, yo, I be looking at men like disgusting, and I'm not attracted to women at all. But like men just don't be taking care of themselves, like hygiene wise, and that shit like even lately just been annoying where it's like a huge turnoff. Now I'm not gonna. I said 80%, so there's a few amount of men that come in. They don't just have cologne on, covering up, not taking a bath. No, you can tell they bathe. They have cologne on. They take care of their hygiene. You know what I'm saying? But you have a large percent of men that I come in contact with. Their hygiene is horrible. That number one is the biggest deal breaker. Like no.
That's crazy. Um, that's so. And the reason I say it's crazy because all of the guys that I know, all of the guys that I rock with, and I don't rock with a large amount of guys, but a lot of the dudes that I rock with, they take pride in how they look, how they
Yeah.
smell when they walk out the house. Like, and maybe it's just the fact that I rock with older dudes or dudes
Mm,
around my age range. If I'm going to the store, I want to make sure that I look good, I smell good.
yeah.
I'm not walking out the house with my hair nappy. Like it's
I mean, Tobias said easy. They pay the bills. Yes. I'm not throwing no shade because I'm not saying no names, so I'm not attacking no one personally. I feel like I feel like this is something that I felt for a while and I've never spoken on. So I'm not necessarily attacking just my clients or nothing like that. But just in general, if I'm saying like a lot of men that I come in contact, imagine how many men that's like out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I be in certain groups on Facebook and I see women saying stuff like that. I seen a woman recently in a Facebook group say that this man she basically was like dealing with their first encounter ready to have sex. He takes his pants off and he has this horrible odor where she was like, oh, we're not having sex. And guess what? He forced himself on her. And now she like, I need to go get tested. Like, you know, she basically put his info out. He was in the DMV. So like, you know, the DMV area. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying all men, but I feel like it could be a big majority of men that is just not taking care of themselves. And it's not that I'm trying to attack nobody, but this is just something that I feel like men need to hear, you know, because I don't know. Like, I don't know. That be my, like, you know, it's a lot of shit that be going on nowadays when it comes to dating, but it's just like, that's a deal breaker for me.
So I can speak to two of the guys that's in the audience today that's rocking with us. Tobias for one,
Mm-hmm.
and Theo for two. I know those are two guys that I know personally. When they walk out the house, Tobias for sure. When he
Yes.
move, you know what I'm saying? Like he moves as if he going for a job interview every time he move out the house.
Yeah.
So so the fact that there's some guys that are not out there, said I own Dove and Cocoa Butter. I can't see anybody moving differently from the way we move.
I'm not like I know men. Any man that I'm cool with or like maybe home, none of them have hygiene issues, okay? I'm not saying that. But I'm saying it's a big hygiene problem. To a point where somebody that I know, a woman, she like, that's something y'all need to talk about. You know, that is something that I felt like needs to be talked about. These men just don't be taking care of themselves nowadays. And it's like, not only do we have to deal with all the bullshit that come with men, we gotta deal with body odor or stinky feet, you know, or whatever the case may be. It sounds crazy to a man that takes care of himself, but it be a lot of that out here, you know. I don't know.
Really?
It's women's fault, right? How is it women's fault?
Well, boy, I'm about to pull you online with me.
No.
What?
Honestly, I don't know what it is. I feel like, you know, I think, and I know we're getting off topic and I'm sorry, but the only thing that I can honestly think of when it comes to men not taking care of their hygiene, and we're not talking about men, it's women out here too. We had this conversation. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it don't be women that be smelling, or you can smell yourself and you're not going to the doctor, you're not making sure you're taking a probiotic to keep your pH balance. It's definitely women out here. But I don't know. I really feel like a lot of men just be depressed, you know. And I feel like they letting themselves go, like hygiene wise. I'm not even talking about look wise or anything else. You know, I'm speaking on hygiene because I feel like when people don't take care of their hygiene, I feel like that's one of the major red flags of depression.
So one thing that Tobias said, and I'm definitely going to agree with him. So a lot of these guys continue to be this way because chicks are still fucking them. And what he said was real. Like if more women turned them the hell away, maybe they would sit there and go, maybe I should wash my ass before I leave out the house, or maybe I should be more caring of how I look and how I dress when I walk out. But if they're still getting ass, why should they change?
I don't feel like it's women's fault at all. Even if a woman is still fucking, that's dirty. That just means y'all both dirty. I blame your mother. Because if your mother didn't raise you to make sure that you had to wash her ass every fucking day, scrubbing between those cheeks, wash under your balls. Like, if your mother didn't teach you that, or your father, yeah, that's who I'm gonna blame for y'all having bad hygiene. I mean, don't act like when boys are young that a lot of boys don't want to take showers, and there are some girls too. There are some girls too, but most boys when they are young, they do not want to get their ass in the bath. You know,
Nah, they don't. They don't. They
it's
don't.
just it is what it is, you know. But I feel like regardless that boys do that, that's something that they have to be taught, you know. And if that's not something that's like, no matter if they trying to go against it and you're not forcing them to do it, then I feel like they just want to be comfortable, you know, just having bad hygiene, you know, which isn't cool.
So I'm gonna throw this one up here real quick. Go back to that. Go back to that last comment.
Tobias, go to hell.
Go back to that last comment. Where's this comment at? Boom. We gonna go right back there. Um, Dudes wear skinny jeans, carry purses, stink, bummy. I agree with you. I agree with you. If women did not still give these dudes no play, I I don't wear skinny jeans. Um, I try to at least dress presentable anytime I walk out the house, even if it's just to walk the dog. I try to dress presentable. But it's become so commonplace that women are saying, you know what? Not even women. Let me take that back a little bit. Girls. Girls are still giving these dudes play. Girls are still letting these dudes know that they got it going on. And what they're giving them no reason to change who the hell they are.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
can.
it's it's almost as if the guys are like, well, shit. You know what I'm saying? If these dudes is getting play and they looking like shit, and I'm walking out the house every day looking like I got it going on, fuck, I'm doing this shit for. You know what
We
I'm
not
saying?
even talking about looking shit. I don't care if you got on some sweatpants and a dingy ass. If your t-shirt is wrinkled, is that motherfucker clean? And did you wash your ass?
Of course, you don't care about the sweatpants.
Like, let's get to the
We'll say.
fucking bottom of it. Like, the hell? Like, let's talk about the men who don't wash their ass, don't take showers for days, and spray some Axe on and think that's going to cover up the fucking stench. No.
Fuck the. There's no covering up a stench. First of all, if you spray cologne on shit, it just smells like shit with cologne. So
Yeah.
any guy that's out there doing that shit, don't do it.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't know. I just be thinking about that when it comes to dating, because this is something that I have talked to women about recently, and not even just women about, like, I've heard stories about women smelling too, you know. But it's like, what if you dating somebody, right? And then the moment that y'all finally ready to be intimate, they have like huge body odor.
Done.
What happens then?
Done. Done.
Like,
Done. It should be done for a woman who smells a guy, and it should definitely be done for a guy who smells a woman.
yeah,
Because if a woman, and I ain't even gonna get into, I've had that situation, but I ain't gonna get into that shit. I'm gonna let her go ahead and be her. But if you smell a chick, if she take off her clothes and the first thing you smell is body odor, fuck that. I'm done. I'm not even getting into it.
yeah,
Run. Just like to buy run. Fuck that shit.
yeah. I don't know. So that like, we got off topic.
We did. But even though we got off topic, it, it's on topic because we're meeting people in environments that we don't get to really see who they are ahead of time. So we're meeting
Mm,
people through social media apps. We're meeting people
mm,
through dating apps. And when we finally meet them, yes, they might show up at the restaurant to take you out, and they put on their Sunday best, and they got, but it's what they have on that second date. It's how
Mhm.
they deal with that second date, or when y'all finally get intimate, that makes the difference.
Mhm.
And ladies, I don't give a fuck how good that first date went. If the second date ain't just as fly, or if when he comes to your house and he get naked and that nigga stinking in that shit, it like let him know that shit is not okay. It shit is not cool.
Yeah, yeah, but then at the same time, you know how some men are, their egos get crushed. Fuck that bitch.
Crush that fucking ego. Fuck that. Crush that nigga's
Yeah.
ego. Let him
Tobias
know when
is
he go
disgusting.
home. Let him know when he go home and he get undressed and he look in the mirror, the first thing he think is, damn, I was stinking and she ain't want to fuck me. Let him say that shit.
Yeah.
Crush their ego. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck if you gotta call your closest homeboy just to make sure when you crush his ego, he don't get fucking stupid and do something and hit you.
Yeah.
Call your homeboy up and be like, yo, I'm about to crush this nigga ego. The same way y'all call y'all homegirls and be like, yo, that dick was all that. You know what I'm saying? That nigga fucked the shit. Call your homeboy and be like, yo, I'm about to crush this nigga ego. Yo, come through. So if he acts stupid, you can punch him in his mouth.
Yeah. Tobias is disgusting, y'all. I'm so sick of him. He's trolling.
So,
What you say? Especially some sexy ass legs in a sports bra tatted up.
so since we mid show and we about to jump into the next topic, I'm gonna let everybody know who just joined in. So today's a special show. We got 1,000 subscribers. We giving away some shit, right? My original thought was I'm gonna give away 2 flasks, 2 threesome show flasks. But since the show has been popping, my producer was like, nah, give away 4. And I'm like, give away 4? Fuck. I'm gonna say that shit on air. 4? But the show's been
You.
popping tonight.
Yeah.
And you have been rocking with us since the fucking beginning. Ray P, you have been rocking with us since the beginning. Everybody stay on board. Cause we giving away some shit. We giving away these. And I know I drink on the show every single week. And if you watch this show, you're probably drinking either before or after the show or during the show. So we're gonna give away these right here. It's a flask, threesome show flask. We're gonna give them away.
And half.
Angie said, and half. Angie, I know your ass be drinking with us. Because you be giving the comments that make me fucking think twice.
Angie's a smoker. I mean, not that
Angie, a
she don't drink. Yeah, she drinks too, but she's a smoker.
oh, I can't give away weed in the air, but Angie, come rock with us. We put one in the
He
air
said,
with
"I'm gonna
you.
put my weed in it." Oh, we know Tobias is a drinker.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So we gonna talk about resentment, and I'm gonna sit back on this one because I'm gonna let my co-host tell y'all all about resentment.
Yes, like we're gonna talk about resentment. Like Dawn said earlier, I feel like sometimes, you have different relationships with different people. Sometimes it can be family members. It could be a parent, a sibling. It could be a friendship, a relationship. And I feel like sometimes people also can resent their children. Um, so, Dawn, I'm going to put you on the hot seat now.
Mmm.
Have you ever resented someone? Um, why did you resent them? And if so, were you ever able to forgive them even though they might have not been sorry? just so that you can heal from the situation.
Yes. Yes. And I'll go and take this hot seat. Let me get comfortable for a second. So I've actually had to recently get over resentment of someone who I felt took my kindness for weakness, took my desire to just be happy and enjoy life, and they took
Mhm.
that for weakness. And I harbored that resentment for a little while. And it was literally sitting by myself in front of this DJ equipment as I normally do. And I had to think to myself, like, the longer I resent them and I try to punish them in silence, then I'm
Mhm.
really just punishing myself.
Right.
So so I had to really just sit there and go, you know what? Even though they'll never say sorry because in their mind they've never done nothing wrong,
Mhm.
I had to sit there and go, you know what? I'm gonna release them from that I'm gonna release myself from the anger.
Mhm.
And that person really did things wrong to me that in my previous life I'd have tried to hurt them.
Mhm.
But I had to think to myself, what's going on now in my life, I can't let that thing hinder my happiness now.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, I held on to that resentment for a little while, and I held on to it longer than I probably should have.
Mhm.
But when it was all said and done, and I really thought my life is progressing happily,
Mhm.
and things that are going on in my life right now, as long as I hold on to that resentment, I'm going to carry that baggage with me. And I'm going to
Right.
resent current relationships or current friendships based on that.
Yeah.
So, yo, I definitely understand the whole resenting people and resenting things that you've done for people. But when it all boils down, the longer you hold on to that resentment, the longer
Mhm.
you're hurting yourself.
Yeah. Um, I definitely resented someone in my past that I dated. Um, and I'm just gonna, speak on like it was different reasons. I feel like the biggest reason why I resented that person, and I didn't even realize that. Sometimes I feel like people don't realize that they're resenting people because when you think that like okay, you move past the situation, like if you move past the situation in your mind, but sometimes you still have thoughts about that person that makes you angry, that means that you're resenting that person from what they did to hurt you. I had someone I dated in my past. I resented them because I feel like they did like the ultimate betrayal. um, from what I know, they had sex with supposed friends of mine and even a close family member of mine, which was the huge betrayal, and so therefore it made me resent a bunch of different people. But just like you said, if you don't eventually forgive someone who's not even sorry for
Oh,
hello, sorry,
yep, we got you.
if you don't forgive somebody who's not even sorry for what they did, it's kind of like you know um you just poisoning yourself. You got all this anger up in you, and a 9 times out of 10, them people still living their lives. They're happy. They moved on, even though it's like you sitting here, dwelling on what happened in the past. Like I said, I feel like you can resent friends because if you feel like you are a good friend to someone, I feel like sometimes your friends might have not been the type of friend that you are to them. And then even like I want to talk about like resenting children, because I feel like I see that a lot today. um I see men resent their children because they don't like the baby mama. And I also see women that resent their children just because maybe their child's father might not be in their life, or even if just them and their child's father didn't work out at all, you know. So because the mother might have pictured like, oh, we're gonna be one big happy family, she could have even been toxic enough to make her child's father walk away. And because her child's father walked away, now she resents her child, because every time that she looks at her child, it's a reminder of the person that walked away from her, you know. So I don't know, I just feel like resentment can be a big thing. From what I read is that, like, it is kind of normal for some people to resent your children at a point in time, even if it's like not that situation from your one of the parents walking away. Sometimes they say that people resent their children just because you don't have that freedom to do whatever you want anymore. um and they say it's completely normal, but like, I think the biggest thing, what I'm trying to get at when it comes to people resenting their children, it is natural to have those feelings, you know, and resent, like, you know, you might resent your child because of however the situation played out, you know. But the thing is, you cannot resent your child and treat your child differently because of the resentment. Your child did not ask to be here. At the end of the day, when two people have sex and create a baby, y'all both made that decision. Whether one of the people walked away or you're just mad because now I have this child and I can't go out and I can't go to this event and I can't go to brunch every Sunday. That does not mean that you can treat your child, sorry to say this, but like shit, just because you don't have that freedom or your partner is there no more, you know. Um, so yeah, that's all I had to say really about resentment, you know. And I feel like, you know, it's okay to have those feelings, but you know, you can't take that out on your children.
So I agree with that, and especially when it comes to taking it out on your children. But what do we do? What do we do when the child resents you? And I'm gonna go ahead and put myself out there again.
Okay.
Um, so I have two daughters, two sons, two biological daughters, two biological sons. Um, and my youngest daughter has a resentment towards me, not based on basically what I have done, but because of what she's heard her mom tell her
Mhm.
about me.
Mhm.
I'm not a deadbeat dad.
Mhm.
You know, I've always taken care of all my children, but and this show right here is gonna be a healing show for me. I reach out to her all the time.
Mhm.
I haven't spoke to her since her last child support payment, and it hurts me because I'm close to my children. You
Mhm.
know, I rock with my children hard. All my children, both my biological children and my bonus children, I rock with them hard. So, how do what do I do to get past the resentment of her hatred towards me?
So how old is she?
She gonna be she just turned 24.
Okay, so she's still young. So, I mean, that is a great subject to talk about because, like I said, in the past, my father was like in and out of my life. So that is somebody that I did resent for a long time. Um, and I can honestly say, growing up, it was kind of like, and especially being a girl, because you know they always say, girls is daddy's little girls and boys is mama boys. You know, so young girls, they always want to they imagine their life of what of how they want with their relationship with their father. And then girls can also compare when they see other girls that have great relationships with their father, and when they don't have that, it's like something that we crave for. um and just like grief, I was just talking to somebody about grief. Even with resentment, it's when you resent someone, like we're gonna speak like your father, you know, me, I resented my father. It would be times where I'm like, okay, Bridget, forgive him because I want that relationship with my dad. So it would be times that I'll be open to it, you know, and then I feel like he didn't show up, you know, the way I felt like in my mind, like you gotta show up, you gotta make up for that. You gotta make up for the lost time. And then when I see that I feel like he's not showing no effort still, then you get mad all over again. Like you don't me resenting my father, you don't understand. And I watch all my siblings. I have 3 other siblings. There's 4 of us. We all got the same mother, same father. I've watched all of my siblings go through, okay, we're gonna give dad another try. Well, we'll answer the phone for dad, right? And then at different periods of times in our lives, all of us like, fuck him. I'm not talking to him. I'm not answering the phone. And this man consistently, and even I can say even we all in our 30s now, I can say even up to a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? But I can say one thing is that number one, your child will always be your child regardless if they're an adult. And I feel like the biggest thing is that you can't ever stop showing up, regardless if she's pushing you away. Cause that time that she like, all right, she in her mind, like, all right, I'm open to it, and you still not blowing her phone up, hitting her line, this is my child. I don't give a fuck if she being stubborn. That's what kids gonna do. And it ain't her still being 24, you're still a baby. You feel me? Even at I feel like in 30, by the time you hit 30, you're like you really become an adult, you know, and your mind fully develops. But I would say don't ever stop. I don't give a shit if you hit her every single day and she don't respond. Show her that I'm your dad. I care about our relationship and I'm not gonna stop trying. You know, regardless of what her mother is telling her. Sometimes you get through to them, sometimes you don't. You got some kids that like I never understood kids that resented their fathers when their mother and their father decided to get divorced after they was together for 18 years. I never understood that. I'm like, how can kids be why do kids be so upset when like their parents divorce by the time they graduate high school? Like y'all mad, and I be like, I always thought to myself, like, at least y'all had a dad in y'all lives most of your life, you know. Meanwhile, I pretty much went my whole life, and my dad wasn't really there at all, you know. But what I realized, and I talked to someone who did have parents that divorced, by the time they were 18, it's because it was like a disappointment, and it felt like abandonment, you know, issues. So I would just say, like me, I feel like because my dad wasn't around, it was a lot of trauma, it was a lot of hurt, and you know, I wanted to become better within myself. I'm very spiritual. I believe in God, and I know the one thing that the Bible says is honor your mother and your father. And I always feel in my heart that regardless of how my father chose to do me, I'm going to always honor him and my mother, and if he chooses not to have a relationship with me or not be there like that, he is the one that has to answer to God, not me. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for him to meet his maker, he has to answer to God about the decisions he chose to make. Even when I was open to letting you come into my life, you chose not to, you know? So I don't believe in I seen a lot of men do that. Like they get mad. Of course you mad because you like, that's my child. I want to talk to my child, but they being stubborn. That's what children do, you know. But I feel like you can't sit here and get mad at a child for feeling some type of way because maybe they're just mad because y'all never was together, or I wanted to see my dad more and I seen you more with these other kids or your girlfriend's kids. You know, that's something that I seen. You know, my dad wasn't there for me, but you was in your girlfriend's daughter life all the time. You did everything for her and act like we was fucking strangers, you know. So I would just say keep showing up. You know, like right now I have a little relationship. I don't talk to my dad like that, but he'll call me certain holidays. But one thing I can say that still bothers me to this day, even though I'm not gonna sit here and resent him, is that even though I'm grown, he don't check up on me. You know, and that bothers me. And then when I am going through real life stuff, like when I'm having surgery or something, it's my aunt that has to tell him, you need to call Bridget. You need to go with Bridget to her surgery. you're my father. You know, it's been times where even my birthday, like, you hit me almost at 12 midnight the next day. You know, like, how can you forget your child's birthday, the day your child was born? You know, so I think that's the thing that irritates me the most, is that I want to hear from my father more. But even though I'm grown, and yes, the phone works both ways, because you wasn't there. I still want effort from you. You know, I could call my mother every day and check up on her. I can call my grandparents and check up on her. And I want to check up on my dad, but you'll never check up on me. And I feel like you have to make up for that lost time as my father. I feel like a lot of people feel that way about their fathers. Like, if their father wasn't there like that, I feel like they feel like, I want to talk to him, but he barely hit me. He only hit me on my birthday. He only hit me during Christmas, you know? So that, to me, this is coming from someone that has resented their own father. You know, I really wish that my dad would hit me like, hey, I'm putting some burgers on the grill. Come by this weekend. That's nothing he's ever done. My father's never bought me flowers. You know, my father never said, hey, I'm coming to get your car, and I'm going to take your car to the car wash and get your car washed for you. You know, like, be a dad. It don't even have to be nothing, you know, crazy, you know, but we just want to see effort, you know. But I personally don't resent my father. Like I said, some of my siblings still go through that phase. I feel like us in our 30s, I feel like I can see most of us for now, we're not like big in resentment, but it's still a little bit there, because it's like, okay, like, I don't have no kids, my siblings got kids. You're not even being a grandfather. You could be a grandfather. Like, you know, you can step in and make up for that, you know. So yeah, you know, I don't know. I would just say, don't stop. Don't don't get mad, because, you know, it's like, you can't tell people how to feel about certain situations. Yes, it's wrong if her mother was planting stuff in her ear, and it caused her to feel a type of way towards you. But I feel like, end of the day, children, they're not dumb, and I feel like eventually they'll see the truth for what it is. You know, if her mother did that, I feel like it might not be right now, but it could be in 5 years where she sees some of her mother's malicious ways, and she be like, you know what, you know. And I'm not saying this is the case. You know, this is just an example. You know.
Like with like the other day was her birthday,
Okay.
and I reached out to her the only way that I can, because I don't have her number anymore. So I reached out to her on social media, and you know, I was like, you know, happy birthday, princess. You know, I love you. I never got a response. And this is the same child that what she doesn't know,
Mm-hmm.
and prayerfully she catches one of these shows. And if she does, princess, I love you. You know what I'm saying? You're one of my heartbeats, and I rocks with all my children. She came out, so I flew her out to spend the summer with me one year. And anytime I flew my children out, because my children are all in different states. Not something I'm happy about, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I got children that are in Kentucky, children in New York. I got a child in New York. I got a child in Atlanta. I flew her out, and instead of her embracing the fact that, you know, my dad flew me out, and what she may not have known was, even during the time she was with me, I never stopped paying her mom child support.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't like, okay, so you're with me now, and I don't have to pay your mom child support. I still pay child support to her mom, even during the
Mm-hmm.
time she was with me. And the only thing she could say was, I thought I was coming out here to go shopping. And I was like, I thought you was coming out here to spend time with me.
Mm-hmm.
And when she got an attitude behind, well, I don't even want to be here if I'm not going to go shopping, I put her back on the plane and sent her home. I'm like, you know, I brought you out here to build a connection. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a little backstory: I didn't even know about this child until she was 2. I found out
Okay.
about her from the child support detective coming to my house.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know about her. All my other children, you know, by the grace of God, all my other children were planned. At least one of my children was planned by me, not her mom. But we all my children were planned. Like I always wanted my children.
Yeah.
When I found out about her, when her mom was wilding out and trying to distance herself from her,
Mm-hmm.
I brought her into my home and I was like, "Look, you're here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you get the same thing that any of my other children would get."
Yeah.
But it's like her mom taught her to be money hungry,
Yeah. And
and
it's
and, and to say that I still resent her mom, and that is a hard pill for me to swallow.
mm-hmm.
That you took one of my children, my bloodline, and you turned her against me.
Yeah. It's not to cut you off, but it sounds like, it do sound like she's a little entitled. And unfortunately that can be taught from the mother, my only question would be, okay, since you found out about her at 2, has it been a consistent relationship? Like, have you had equal time with her as her mother? Um,
So with once I found out about her, I want to say it was about 2 or 3 months after I found out about her. I went down to go see her. I go down and go see her, and her mom has sent me a series of emails that I didn't catch.
mm-hmm,
I didn't even see the emails. So the woman I was with at the time saw the emails and was like, she called me while I was on the road. I was literally driving
mm-hmm,
down to go see her. And the woman I was with at the time was like, "Yo, oh, I can't believe you going down there to be with her." And I'm like, "Be with who? My daughter?" And she's like, "No, I see all of these I love you emails and this." And I'm like, "Yo, you seeing things I haven't even seen yet."
yeah,
So when I called her mom and I was like, "That's not why I'm coming down there. Like, I'm not coming down there to be with you. I'm
mm-hmm,
coming down to see my daughter." She dipped with my daughter. So I drove literally 6 hours. And when I got there, my daughter wasn't there. But these
yeah,
are the things that my daughter does not know. And I never tried to taint my my daughter's mom image in her eyes.
yeah,
But at
um,
the same time, I'm like, "Yo, I drove down there to see you when you were two."
yeah. So I feel like just from what I'm hearing, and this is just like a lesson to men, because sometimes you do make mistakes, and it can be vice versa. Sometimes you don't realize the type of person that you end up having a child with, just having fun or whatever the case may be. But I'll say this: if you see that your child's mother, your child's father, whoever has like primary custody of the child, or even if they're just with them and there's no custody agreement, I feel like, and you see that they're using your child as a pawn in any way, and I'm just speaking in general for anybody that might go through a situation like this. The biggest thing, we're going to speak on men, is that you need to go to court and fight for equal custody. Y'all need to have scheduled visitations, because if not, now you're just leaving your child, you know, in the hands of someone that doesn't have good morals, doesn't have good values. Because what person would keep their child away from their parent just because they can't be together? That's somebody that's ignorant. That's somebody that's selfish, you know? So no, you can't just say, they're giving me a hard time. They not letting me see my child. You gotta go hard for that is just as much as your child, like that's your seed, like the man even is more dominant. That's your child. The woman, not saying it's not their child. The woman carries the child in the womb, but that's your bloodline. That's why most children, when they're born, they get their father's last name. That is your child. You need to fight for that child. Fight for visitation. Fight for, equal visits. And I don't care how long you have to fight. It's something that um your child needs. You know what I'm saying? To see that you never gave up, no matter how difficult the other parent was. Because if not, now that child is just being raised by that ignorant person, and unfortunately, now that child is ignorant themselves. That's why fathers are very important. It's the main reason why fathers gotta fight, just as hard, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Whoever has the child in their hands at the time, because your child can easily be brainwashed. Not saying that, like, she'll never open her eyes and heal, or whatever the case may be, because she could just be this type of person now. A lot of girls, if you raised by, your mother, and your mother is independent, single, whatever, single mother, you're gonna have a lot of tendencies of how your mother is. If your mother an ignorant person, you might become an ignorant person. Sometimes that's how stuff is passed down. I would say, you know, have a conversation. I would say, if you can't have a conversation because you don't have her number, if you have her address, write her a heartfelt letter. Tell her how you feel. Tell her, like, that you want to have a relationship with her. Um, if she can't like, see the effort in that, and she wants to be against it because she thinks that you're just supposed to be pouring out money, then it is what it is. To hear your side. But yeah, I don't know. I would just say, like, if you're dealing with a ignorant child's mother, child's father, I would say don't give up. You know, and I'm not talking about you, dog, because I know other people that's in this situation personally. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. Anything in the world should be worth your child. I don't give a shit if you gotta put a certain amount of your paycheck aside every single payday to get a lawyer. You gotta fight, because fathers are very important. Fathers teach children, and it's not just boys or girls. They teach them some valuable things. I think children need to be around their fathers more than anything. You ever notice that when people do have two parents in their lives, right? Both their mom and their dad together, their mother could be like, "Stop doing this. Stop doing this." When a father put that bass in his voice, get your ass over here. They don't even gotta say too much. The kids tighten up real quick. And that's because the father has authority, and children value that and they listen to that, But that's why it's so important to have, them dads in your life, And it's unfortunate, what you're going through, Dawn. I would just say, regardless that, she's not, trying to interact with you, I would say just don't stop trying. You know, I don't care if you go on Google, you find the address, pop up with some flowers. Look, I want to talk. You know what I'm saying? Unless she be like, I don't ever want to see you again. She put a restraining order against you. Then I feel like at that point, that's the only time that I would give her what she wants. But if it means something to you, if you feel like it's something that hurts you, then I feel like it should be something that work towards, and keep trying. I wish my dad tried more. That's one thing I do, you know. But I can't sit here and keep resenting you. Like we're talking about, you can't resent people. And I get even with her mother, like, I resent you because you helped me from my child. You made my child feel some type of way. That's
Right.
wrong. That's wrong. You know. So yeah, but let
So
me see. Tobias said
it's
you gotta verify if there's yours first, of course. But
no doubt.
some people already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And what else he say? And Tobias, no, my dad's father wasn't his life. So my father actually had both his parents together. majority of his life, his parents was together. So yeah. So I mean, I get it, but I know I don't get it. Because sometimes
So
you be like,
the one thing about this show, right? And I think I've said this before. This is a very healing show, and it's if this is your first time tuning in, tune into the live. As you see, the live gets pretty damn live.
mm-hmm,
Um, we have some opinionated folks who jump on with us, and I appreciate them. And the things that you're saying honestly from the other side of
mm-hmm,
what I don't get to see. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
you're going through this with your dad, and
mm-hmm,
you're going through the same, or you have the same feelings and emotions that my daughter's probably having.
yeah, yeah,
So I will say, my next step is just like you said. Write a note, write a letter. You know, I am on really good terms with her grandfather,
mm-hmm,
on her mother's father.
mm-hmm,
So if I got to go through him to get to her, I'll do that.
yeah,
Because I don't ever want my daughter to grow up thinking my dad didn't care. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
especially
And
when
go
all
ahead,
my
sorry.
other children know. They know
Mm-hmm,
for a fact, like I am in constant contact with them.
mm-hmm,
I have a monthly um, Zoom, not a Zoom call, but FaceTime call with all my children, and I
mm-hmm,
just cut up with them.
yeah,
And I want her to be involved in that. And my oldest son, he will reach out and say, "Hey, we're online with dad. Jump on," and she won't even jump on.
yeah. Kids. I mean, even though she's 24, she's a kid. Kids do that. I
Hmm.
promise you, me and all my siblings went through phases where like, oh, we'll talk to dad. And then we went through phases like, fuck him. I'm not answering. They ain't answer his phone. Like he called for this day, didn't answer him. You know what I'm saying? I've seen me and all my siblings go through that so many times throughout the years, and even in our 20s. Even in our 20s, like, oh, did dad call you for Christmas or something? Yeah, but I ain't answering. Fuck him. Like, it goes through period. It's just like grief, where you go through periods of like, you're sad about it. Maybe you miss them, then you're angry again. And that can be a repetitive cycle until I feel like you're on a like self-healing journey where you like, you know, this bothered me. I'm ready to forgive them if they're not, you know what I'm saying? Like sorry for what they did. And then maybe, they'll be more open. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would, I don't know. I feel like I can't even speak on everything I really want to speak on. Um, but I would just say, don't stop trying. Because I feel like if you weren't there as much as you felt like you should have, or she don't feel like you were there as much as she feel like you should have been, then I feel like the thing that she's missing is I want consistency and I want effort. I don't want to hear, oh, I'm gonna see you this. No, we need actions, 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 actions. Even as grown adults, the thing is, she'll never stop being your child,
Right.
and so that's why I'm like, okay, you owe me, you owe me, because I missed out. That's how I feel. I missed out on so much as a child. My father not being around. You owe me. Where you at? Call and check up on me. Take me to lunch. And it's not about money. It's about effort. Even
Right.
if he's like, oh, let's go take a stroll. I like going walking outside. You want to go for a walk? Like, show me some effort. Show me that you care about your child, even though I'm grown. You know. So I don't know. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. I'm not gonna say I'm jealous, but when I see people that have really good relationships with their fathers, and you have people that feel this way about their mothers too. You know,
Hmm.
if their mother wasn't around, or they might resent their mother for whatever reason. Maybe their mother was ignorant to them because they chose a fucked up ass partner or whatever the case may be. You got people that resent. their mother or their father. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like you eventually, you might go through a healing process yourself, and you be like, all right, I forgive them. You know.
Yeah. So we got real serious tonight.
Sorry, y'all.
If this is your first time watching the show, if your first time tuning in live, we get real serious sometimes. And take away from it what you will. But what you just heard was two sides of that exact same coin. What I'm going through, what Bridget's going through, or what Bridget has gone through, or what I've gone through, is two sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
So tune in. We got a lot of topics like this. We're gonna do
Yeah.
this. But let's get happy. We're gonna get everybody happy for a second. So once again, I started out the show. This show was an important show for us. We reached 1,000 subscribers. We were super happy, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and draw some names, and we're gonna give away some prizes.
Mm-hmm.
And then when everybody joined in and everybody started talking, my producer was like, "No, we got to give away 4." And I was like, "No, no, 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 no. I planned on paying for 2. I got 2, so we're gonna do 4." And so, Ange, you have been rocking with us every single week. We appreciate you. Got love for you. You have become part of my family. 1,000. Yes, absolutely 1K. And you get one of these.
Okay,
Ray
and
P. Ray P, thank you so much. Because even when I was, when everybody else was sitting there going, you getting married again? Yeah, I'm getting married again. And y'all was all on my team. And y'all was like, do it. Ray P, you getting one of these. Um,
and funded.
Theo, you were willing to jump in and be the man on the hot seat. Even though you irritated my co-host, but we ain't gonna talk about that right
He irritated me.
now. Theo, you my dude. I'm gonna give you one of these too. And Tobias, you have had so much input today. Even though you don't jump in often, you jumped in when it was worth it, when it was needed. So I got one of these for you too. So we're giving away 4 flasks. On the front of it, it has the threesome show. On the back of it, it has 1K and a thank you. So Angie, Ray P, Theo, and Tobias, I got 4 flasks coming to you all. Thank you all, because really, we appreciate all the people that watch the show when we're off the air. They watch the recorded show, and we want them to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep liking, keep subscribing. We appreciate you, but the threesome show is not 3 if it wasn't for me, Bridget, and you all. So thank you for being part of the 3. Don't stop. Um, yes, you can get it delivered, Tobias. To the
He's being
nearest
smart.
hookah lounge.
He's being smart. He's being smart towards me. But it's okay.
That
Turkey.
I'm gonna put that one on Bridget. If she's gonna deliver it to the hookah lounge. As a matter of fact, we could all link up at a hookah lounge. Let's put that trip together.
Right.
We can link
No.
up and go smoke some hookah.
Right. But can I ask everybody who is on, if you can, share, screen record your favorite part of today's show, repost it on Instagram, tag us. Like, we really do appreciate y'all.
Yes, please do that. If there was a part of the show that grabbed you, a part of the show that just made you perk up in your seat, screen grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Send it out to other people. To all the people who I met when I was on my honeymoon, that subscribed, because a lot of them was like, I'm gonna subscribe as soon as I get home. And since we crossed the 1,000, as a matter of fact, at this point we're at 1.12 thousand subscribers. So for all those who chimed in and watched the show and subscribed, I definitely appreciate you. Um, yeah, Tobias, yes. Tobias don't have one hookah. He got what, four damn hookahs? Son
Mhm.
could light up the. He could have a hookah spot in his house. So
Mhm.
if we need to all link up at Tobias and do the hookah and drinks, yes, please like, comment, subscribe. Let's build on this.
Yeah.
If you have any topics that you want us to talk about, either drop it in the comments during after the live view, or reach out to us and let us know some things you want to talk about, so we can let's heal each other. Um, this show has been I say it all the time. It's been a healing for me. Um, Not only my co-hosts, but also the people who get on live with us and talk to us. And when I'm sitting there having doubts about myself, whoo, that audience right there, they'll be like, nope, this is what you need to do.
Mhm.
Look back on one of our previous shows when I was talking about how I don't know how to make plans, and how they told me I need to make plans, and now I make plans. so so yeah, let's do this. Let's get bigger. Let's get better. We got 4 flasks. Um, I can deliver most of them, I think. But if I can't deliver yours, Bridget will deliver it. We gonna rock with y'all. And next week, one person. We ain't doing 4. I don't care what my producer says. Next week, one person. That's live. I'm putting some money in your pocket, some cash money. So tune in next week. We gonna chop it up. We gonna chat it up. And one person's walking away. Ain't gonna be a lot of money. Like 2,500 cents. Yeah, that's what that's what I'm giving away. But it'll buy you lunch the next day. So tune in next week, because if you're not live, you can't win. So tune in next week. Rock with us for the threesome show. This is Don and Bridget, or rather Bridget and Don, because B come before D. But anyway, keep rocking with us. Let's keep growing this thing. If you have a topic that you want us to research and talk about, drop it in the comments. Reach out to us directly. We'll talk about it. This way you can talk about it. I got healed from this show. Maybe you can get healed from the next one. So until next week, Wednesday, every Wednesday, we rocking. We doing this. So until next Wednesday, be easy, people.